So we will move to our next student talk by
Uh,
Vivash Hajar. Hello. Yeah, by Vivash Hajra from Aizer Kolkata. So he will be given 12 minutes for the talk and 3 minutes for question answer. So you can present. Best of luck.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. And your
Slides also
screen,
visible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, screen is visible.
Okay, thank you for the introduction and good morning all. So I will present my research work entitled Microenvironment and PK Perturbation Guided Natural Selection of Cationic Amino Acids and their Probable Role in Protocellular Evolution. So as we all know, protein are one of the most important workhorses of our physiological systems. They carry out a vast array of functions, which includes like DNA replications. They act as enzyme to catalyze many physiological reactions. And probably the most important function of protein is they give structures to the cell and organisms. Now, what are proteins? Proteins are nothing but the linear polymers made up of 20 different encoded amino acids. Now, if we see the two different class of amino acids, that is the acidic amino acids containing a carboxylic acid side chain and the basic amino acid that is containing amine or guanidine moiety in the side chain, we can see for the acidic amino acids, the class of acid amino acids, the alpha carbon and this the terminal ionizable group, they are in between this linker. The number of the linker is in between. For aspartic acid, the linker is 2, and for glutamic acid, the number of linker is 3. But for lysine and arginine, the two different basic amino acids, we can see the number of linkers in between this alpha carbon and this terminal ionizable amine is 4 for lysine, and for arginine, the number is 5. So, isn't it against the microeconomic principle, because nature is using more number of carbon atoms for basic amino acids while there is less number of carbon atoms in between for acidic amino acids? So we asked two basic questions: why the number is 4 and 5 for basic amino acids, and why the lower analogs compounds, that is the lower analogs of lysine or arginines, are not naturally occurring. So here we can sense some kind of favoritism by nature. So this is our proposed hypothesis, and we propose that this is probably due to the stability of the amino acyl tRNA. Amino acyl tRNA is a key intermediate in the protein biosynthesis. And these are the lower analogs of lysine, that is 2,3-diaminopropionic acid, 2,4-diaminobutyric acid, and ornithine. Now, if we use these different amino acids in this amino acyl tRNA side chain, we can show that when we have used this 2,4-diaminobutyric acid during protein synthesis, this terminal amine has a propensity to attack at this carbonyl center to terminate the protein synthesis because of the formation of the stable 5-member lactam ring. So the protein synthesis will be terminated, which is not desirable at all. And again, for ornithine, the another lower analog of lysine, we can see the same thing can happen to form a 6-member lactam ring, which is also a stable lactam ring. Now, if we move to lysine, what will happen? There is a possibility of the 7-member lactam ring formation, which is thermodynamically less feasible to happen compared to the 6-member and 5-member ring. So for lysine, there will be less chance of the protein termination. And again, if we consider the lowest analog of lysine, that is the 2,3-diaminopropionic acid, here with the possibility of formation of 4-member lactam ring. This is also very less thermodynamically less favorable to happen. So from this model, we can definitely predict this 2,4-diaminobutyric acid and ornithine. For these two, the protein synthesis will be terminated, and probably that is the reason why nature did not select these two as a proteinaceous amino acid over lysine. But why this 2,3-diaminopropionic acid has not been selected, that is remains as a mystery. So to prove our proposed model, we have synthesized a mimic of the amino acid tRNA, that is octyl ester of the amino acids. Because why we have synthesized ester? Because if we see the structure of the amino acid tRNA, we can see there is a ester bond, means this is nothing but an ester. So we, for simplicity, we have synthesized the octyl ester of our different amino acids. And if you see once again the structure, upon this degradation, the released species will be an alcohol. This tRNA-OH, this is an alcohol. So our target is to follow the kinetics of this alcohol release. So we performed the kinetics by using 1H NMR spectroscopy, and we can follow the degradation kinetics by seeing the release of this octanol. And what we have found after 24 hours, of degradation, this degradation profile shows this DAB and ornithine, the two lower analogs where this lactamization is possible, that degrades more than 80%, whereas the lower analogs, that is DPR and lysine, which are naturally occurring, their degradation profile is below 20%, and this is because of only background hydrolysis. So from this model, we can show these two are unstable due to intramolecular lactamization. This clarified by 1H NMR spectroscopy. Then we have checked the two different cationic amino acid that those are naturally occurring, that is arginine and histidine, and also obtained the same result as that of lysine. So from this result, we can show that model amylosine tRNA of the natural amino acid, that is lysine, arginine, and histidine, they are more stable compared to the two non-natural analogs, that is DAB and ornithine. But still, we cannot explain the exclusion of this DPR as proteinaceous amino acid, since this is also stable under this same condition. So what we have shown, that we have synthesized an octyl ester, and we can definitely say this contain a positive head group, that is the NH3+, and also a non-polar tail, means that is an amphiphilic molecule. So we thought, can we use this amphiphilic molecule and utilized in a surface assisted peptide formation reaction, since this is contained in 3 amine group. So we have performed the same thing, and as a acylating agent, we have used this butyl paranitro as the acylating agent. This molecule can form a micellar structure after a certain concentration, and we have studied the kinetics using UV, because we studied the release of this paranitrophenol, which has a characteristic UV absorption around 400 nanometer. And what we can show from this graph is that when there is no hydrophobicity, means when that contains an butyl chain or an cyclopentyl chain, we cannot get any peptide formation reaction. But when we have used this octyl chain, we definitely see a peptide formation reaction. This peptide formation also characterized using high resolution mass spectroscopy. So this is our proposed model. Since lysine, NH3+, this alpha amine and this terminal amine, they are far away from each other, and also the pK difference is more. So we propose that for lysine, this peptide formation reaction only happens through this alpha amine position rather than this terminal amine positions. But for the lower analogs, since they are relatively close to each other and the pK difference is less, so the peptide formation reaction can proceed through both the amine, that is the alpha amine as well as the terminal amine, and which further characterized using 1H NMR spectroscopy, where we can show that for lysine the alpha linkage is predominant, is more than around 90%, whereas the terminal linkage is 10%. But for the lower analogs, the percentage is near about 50%, means there is a 50-50 possibility of alpha linkage as well as terminal linkage. All these experiments are performed in TCHCl buffer, that is 100 millimolar TCHCl buffer, under physiological condition, that is pH 7 and 37 degrees Celsius temperature. But what we can see for DAB and ornithine, there is still 50% of alpha linkage. So we asked why nature completely discarded these two amino acids over lysine. And then we revisited the literature and found that intracellular matrix contain a phosphate, huge amount of phosphate. So we thought, is there any role of intracellular phosphate in such kind of reaction or not? Then we performed the similar peptide formation reaction in presence of phosphate buffer, maintaining all other conditions similar. And what we have found, that in presence of phosphate buffer, the alpha linkage propensity, here we can see 34, 52, and 47. This alpha linkage in presence of phosphate buffer for the lower analogs went further down and made them ill-suited for protein synthesis. But for lysine also, the alpha linkage propensity went down, but still you can see the alpha linkage and terminal linkage ratio, the alpha is the predominant pathway. So from this we conclude this poor regioselectivity in peptide synthesis makes this DPR, DAB, and ornithine ill-suited for peptide synthesis, whereas lysines remain superior even in presence of the phosphate. So this is our proposed model, how phosphate may play a role during the early evolution. So we propose that in this alpha amine, there is the NH3+, and this phosphate contains 2 OH-. So there is a possibility of hydrogen bonding as well as electrostatic interaction, which makes this alpha amine much more sterically hindered to carry out such kind of peptide formation reaction in presence of surface in the lower analogs. Since both are very close to each other, this terminal amine is much more free to initiate the to peptide formation reaction. But for lysine, the case is quite different, because in lysine, this alpha amine and this terminal amine, they are separated by 4 methylene groups. Means this terminal amine is much more bulk exposed, and the pK is also very high. So whatever percentage amidation is happening for lysine is maximum means mostly going through this alpha amine, not through the terminal amine, because of this PK as well as this difference in this number of linkers. The PK perturbation can be proposed by these two models for these lower analogs and lysine. For the lower analogs, we can see this alpha amine as well as this terminal amine. These are very close to the surface since the number of linkers is less. So there is a possibility in presence of surface, this amine-amine repulsion will reduce the apparent PK value of these amines to a much lower value than the theoretical value, which makes the terminal reaction much more feasible in case of these lower analogs. But for lysine, as already discussed, since this
Vivash,
yes.
sorry to interrupt, you have 2 more minutes left.
Within 2 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
So in case of lysine, we can see this terminal amine is much more separated by this fold linker. So there is a very less repulsion between these terminal amines. That is why the reduction of apparent PK is very less in case of the terminal amine rather than this alpha amine. So most of the reaction is happening through this alpha amine. So this makes lysine probably more superior over the others. So now we proposed, can we use this self-degrading behavior of the lower analogs of lysine, that is ornithine and DAP, for some other purposes? Then we thought, since these are the amphiphilic molecules, we can mix with these amphiphilic molecules with anionic amphiphile, that is the prebiotically plausible anionic amphiphile is a fatty acid. So we can generate some kind of model protocellular surface. So this is the model of the generation of our model protocellular surface, and these are the amphiphile we have used, different fatty acids and our cationic amino acids amphiphile. And these are characterized using naked eye visualization, this dynamic light scattering as TEM images. And as we discussed earlier, under physiological condition pH7, since this DAB and ornithine has a self-degrading nature due to intramolecular lactamation, they can self-degrade this protocellular morphology. So they can be utilized for a different purpose like drug delivery, whereas this lysine-made protocell will be stable under physiological conditions since lactamation is not that feasible, which is shown by UV turbidimetric analysis, where we can show lysine is stable under physiological condition. There is no reduction in absorbance, whereas the lower analogs, the absorbance is degrading with time, it's reducing with time, means this protocellular assembly is not stable under physiological condition. So some of the advantages of our model protocellular system, we can form them at a much lower CSE since these are mixed amphiphilic system. They are stable against sodium plus and magnesium 2 plus, which are prevalent in the physiological system and also known to be required for RNA replication. The lysine-made protocell has an encapsulation property, which we have shown using the Godpot assay. That is, we encapsulated glucose inside the model protocell, and then we have studied the kinetics of the glucose release, where we can show lysine have a 65% glucose encapsulation efficacy, whereas the lower analog has no encapsulation efficacy at all. And then finally, we have performed this regioselective peptide synthesis in presence of the vesicular surface, which contains a excess positive charge. And this is 100% regioselective for lysine, whereas there is terminal amidation occurs for the lower analogs of the lysine. So in conclusion, we can say we synthesized different model amino acid tRNA and showed the stability difference, where we have shown the cationic amino acids are much more stable than the non-natural analogs. We performed regioselective surface-assisted peptide synthesis, where a more critical role of PK was highlighted. And again, in mixing with fatty acid, we can generate protocell-like aggregates, which has two different purposes. The lysine-made protocell can initiate peptide formation, which showed a probable model of biological membrane during early evolution, and the lower analogs made protocell can be utilized as a drug delivery vehicles since they are self-degrading in nature. So I want to acknowledge Dr. Pradeep Kumar Tarafdar, my supervisor, my lab mates, head of the Department of Chemical Sciences, and especially I want to thank Gangeyo Student Chapter for giving me the opportunity to present my research work in front of the audience, and IJR Kolkata for hostel and for the labs, and CSR for funding. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivash, for the talk. So we will take some question, audience. If you have any question, you can post your question in question answer section. Yeah, yes, you have a question. Okay, so Shudipto asked you why DPR is not a proteinogenic amino acid.
Yeah. From this model, from this model, we showed that DPR is stable under physiological condition. That is, it's not degrading because it only can form a 4-member lactone ring. This is stable. So this is an anomalous system, but when we showed this one, yeah, this part, this regioselective peptide synthesis, what we can show that for lysine the alpha selectivity is 90%, but for DPR this is only around 34%. And if we closely go to the more physiological environment, that is which contain an intracellular phosphate, there the selectivity further went down, it is only 30%, which is not biological at all. There is 70% terminal linkage, which is not biological, this is non-biological. But for lysine we can see it is 80-20. Because in physiological, whatever peptides or proteins are present, they are mostly through alpha linkage, no terminal linkage is happening. That is the reason probably nature excluded DPR as the proteinogenic amino acid, because of this regioselectivity in peptide synthesis.
Okay, so there's no question. Okay, Vivas, thank you for your talk.